This is Town Square Sunday on demand. And now, 1420 WBSM's Jim Phillips.
Good morning and welcome to Town Square Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. Today we're learning about the inaugural New Bedford Film Festival. The festival will run from April 18th to the 21st. Joining us today is the founder of the film festival, Ethan DeAguiar, who's a filmmaker in his own right. We'll talk about that as well. Good morning, Ethan.
Good morning. How's it going?
I'm doing well. Ethan, why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about your own career? How did you get introduced to films, and where do you hope it will take you?
Yeah, so, typical kid, always into movies and stuff like that. I used to mess around with a family camcorder on family vacations or holidays, stuff like that, and then got into high school and met a group of skateboarders that I'm still friends with to this day. And it was my good buddy Tim Lavoie that gave me my first camera and put that in my hands. And then I quickly realized I wasn't going to become a pro skateboarder. So instead, I just did all the work behind the camera, documenting all the good times, basically my whole teenage formative years with my friends. Then got into college. Love kept growing for it. Out of college, got a job in the wedding industry. Wasn't really my cup of tea. Went into business for myself in the beginning of 2020 and haven't looked back since.
That's quite a story. Almost like a Fableman story, the movie, Spielberg's movie.
Yeah.
A short time ago. Well, so how did the film festival idea come about? I mean, you are a young man, and you are.
I like to think so.
Yeah, I mean, this you're still kind of putting it all together, although you've had a great start. But how did the film festival idea come about?
Yeah, so actually, when I worked on my documentary, Love Letters for New Bedford, once it all came to fruition and we had a private screening at the Whaling Museum, I was introduced to the idea of submitting it to film festivals. And up until that point, I thought film festival world was kind of out of my realm. I thought it was like Sundance and South by Southwest and just places that I wasn't, going to fit in. Yeah. But ended up finding out that the process is actually super easy. It's just a matter of making a profile on Film Freeway, submitting your films, and even more surprisingly was when we started to get selected into film festivals and getting some best documentary wins. So just that idea of, it's not as far out of reach as you think it may be, kind of carried over to, well, New Bedford should have its own film festival, and really kind of incubate that idea in the city of, if you're passionate about what you do, then it can take you places that you never imagined.
All right. So, again, but where did the idea come about? I mean, you're sitting around with your friends?
Oh, no. I mean, we got a whole team of people that just started putting stuff together. Thankfully that we had a lot of sponsors and partners and a lot of great grants in the city. I mean, New Bedford is very embracive of the creative community in the first place, and I think that it's just more about adding film into that. There was already little speckles of film here and there, but not really a big group of people that were implementing filmmaking into the city on this kind of scale. So I think it was just about grabbing a group of people like the Avengers and just trying to make a film industry happen from the ground up in New Bedford.
And there is a small but very active group of filmmakers in New Bedford. Maybe not so small, I'm not sure. But tell me about these people. I mean, you're not alone here. Yeah,
no. I mean, we have a great board, great team, and a lot of success has come out of New Bedford, whether it's people that are still here or people that have moved away to New York, LA, all the bigger markets. And our group, we're all working professionals in the field. We've done, smaller budget projects, bigger budget projects, and it's just really exciting to get everybody together to not only expand our own capabilities but also bring that industry to New Bedford in a very organic grassroots kind of way, where we're building the capabilities of New Bedford up without sacrificing the culture of the city. And I think that's a really sustainable way to grow.
The press release states that the film festival celebrates authentic cinematic stories and a lot more. They're going to be doing some things at this festival. First of all, it's 18th through the 21st, and it won't be at one location. There'll be varied locations. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so along with, Film Festival is celebrating cinema and a bunch of people coming together, watching screenings, enjoying films, being entertained. But I think beyond that, we're using this festival as a vessel for multiple goals. So one of that being introducing outsiders into New Bedford and using it as a tourism driver where, I think New Bedford is one of those cities where it's a beautiful, magical place, but it's one of those cities that you need to experience for yourself to really see that. So we're hoping that the reason why we're spreading it out to so many different venues is to encourage people to explore the city. I mean, we have 6-8 hours of screenings. We don't expect people to sit down in a chair that whole time. So we encourage people, get out there, explore the city, explore the businesses. Everybody's excited to have this. Everybody's excited to embrace people into the city and show them what makes it so special. And I think even outside of the film festival dates, we are trying to become or going to become that agency that helps manage and expand the film and TV capabilities of the city. The city itself is very embracive of that. I think that they see the value of bringing a film industry here and growing it from the inside out. And just as much as it's about importing productions from outside of the city into New Bedford, it's also about incubating local talent here and then exporting that outward into the industry. So they have a solid foundation and a solid start than if they tried to do it on their own. And you had mentioned before, there's quite a few filmmakers out there. I think one of the most inspiring things we've been seeing is a lot of people that are like, I've had this idea for this documentary, or I've always wanted to do this. And now they see us doing it on this scale, and it's starting to bring a lot of those people out, which is incredibly encouraging for us.
So how many entries they have to look at? I mean,
our inaugural year, we were hoping for 100 submissions was like our benchmark. At the end of it, we ended up getting 209 submissions. Wow. And now we're screening, I don't remember the final number, but I would say it's somewhere between 70 and 100 films that we're screening. So yeah, really exciting.
So where will it take place? Where will the opening ceremony take place?
So the opening ceremony is in the Cook Memorial Theater in the Whaling Museum. Beautiful theater space. We're going to kick it off with, speeches and recognitions and select screenings. And then the bulk of the screenings on the 19th and 20th will take place at Groundwork building where the NBEDC is housed and right off of Purchase Street exit on Route 18. And there will be varying screenings and workshops and panel discussions there, as well as some screenings at Co-Creative Center, at Harbor Hotel, and Gallery X. And then a networking event in the nighttime at Ground Floor Coffee. On the first floor, we're going to have a museum-style display of different screenshots from different films, with a little blurb about the film to kind of break the ice and get the conversation going, and then a networking event on the fourth floor as well. And those are basically the 2 days, 19th and 20th are the same setup for the 21st, but then instead of networking at night, we're going to have a pre-award show party at Gallery X, and then the award show at Steeple Playhouse, Academy Award style award show.
Very good. So will it mainly be films or other media be presented as well?
It's mainly films, but there's a variety. So there's some music videos, there's animated shorts, which are really, really interesting. Some PSAs, things like that. So it is, it's films, but there's a variety of films and a little bit for everybody.
Where can people find a complete schedule?
So the complete schedule right now is on newbedfordfilmfestival.com. That's also where you can buy your tickets. You can contact us if you have any questions. All the information should be up on there.
Okay. You're listening to Town Square Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. My guest is Ethan DeAguiar, founder of the New Bedford Film Festival. It's happening April 18th to the 21st in New Bedford. During the festival, you'll be debuting, really, or at least the first public showing of Love Letters for New Bedford, your documentary that you made.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that film and where did the idea come
from? I had been working closely with New Bedford Creative on a number of projects. So in the summer of 2022, they had me go around New Bedford and basically capture footage of every event that I could attend that was happening in New Bedford to just kind of create this content library of beautiful footage of what's going on in New Bedford with no set plan on how to use it. Just let's make sure we have it and then we'll figure out how to use it later. And then in August, I got brought on to an initiative that they had collaborated with Arts Midwest, which was a Minneapolis-based arts organization that does the same kind of things that New Bedford Creative does for New Bedford. And they had been working for, I think, about a year or so on this initiative called Creating Connections, which was all about engaging the public more in public art. So they had artist ambassadors that each had, artists from New Bedford and the surrounding areas that had their own art projects, public art projects. And my job was to come in and create this highlight video of all of it. Quickly realized after interviewing a few people, one of the interviewees was Maya Livramento, and she's a spoken word artist. And she just had such passionate things to say about not just the city, but the creative community here, and just like, moving away and coming back and feeling inspired. And it was so beautiful. I mean, she had us in tears in that interview. And I just thought, there's a much deeper, more special story that we had here than a simple, here's what happened over the summer. So luckily, New Bedford Creative and Arts Midwest trusted me to tell the story how I saw fit, and I just wanted to make kind of New Bedford and the creative community here the central focus, the main character, and then it just evolved into that. It was almost like that cliche of like, these stories exist and I'm just the vessel that they flow through. It felt very much like that, and it was an honor to be able to shine a light on New Bedford like that.
All right. Is the film aimed at convincing people from outside New Bedford that we have a thriving artist community? Or was it made to convince people here that the arts community is alive and well?
I think it's a good mixture of both. We interviewed people from the area that are lifelong residents, and then we also interviewed what we call transplants, people from other communities or other countries even coming into New Bedford. And honestly, I mean, I feel like as a New Bedford resident, sometimes we get a little bit jaded, not in a bad way, but just
sometimes in a bad way.
We're so close to beaches and we have so much around here, but we're so used to it that we don't realize that doesn't happen everywhere. So when we get that outside perspective, I think one of the most important things of doing these interviews was seeing New Bedford through the eyes of people that haven't grown up here. And honestly, the people that came here from other places had amazing things to say, that it was kind of re-inspiring us about how special our city is. And yeah, so I think it's a good mixture of both. Like I said, New Bedford is one of those places that, it's beautiful and we all love it here, but it's one of those things that people really need to come and experience for themselves.
You finished Love Letters for New Bedford in 2022. Since then, have been submitted to more than 30 film festivals, and you received some important recognition and awards, right?
Yeah, so some film festivals do awards. Some of them just do official selections, which basically just means, they're selecting you to screen at their festival, which is an honor in and of itself. But yes, we got 15 official selections, and then 4 awards for Best Documentary. 3 of those were international awards. And I actually got to go to Lisbon last year to visit the Portuguese International Film Festival, and that was an amazing time too.
Right. And so we've done Love Letters for New Bedford. There'll be a public showing, I think, on the opening night.
Yep, at the Whaling Museum.
Film Festival on the 18th. And where do you plan on having it shown after that?
So we wanted to make a big public showing of it to really launch it into the public realm, because during the film festival run we weren't allowed to post it anywhere or anything like that. We just plan to show it to as many people as possible, put it in as many places as possible. The tourism department is interested in hosting it on their website. Yep. New Bedford Creative is interested in that. And then recently the New Bedford Whaling Historical National Park, I think I got the order of those words right, is going to add it into their archives. So it's going to live in their archives of, New Bedford history for years. And that's an incredible honor.
All right. It really is. So again, you do need tickets for the film festival.
Yes. So we wanted to make it as accessible as possible. However, we're working with so many different venues and a lot of capacity, challenges. So the screenings and workshops will all be free 5 minutes before it's starting, but buying your VIP passes assures you a seat at those screenings. So I would highly recommend people to buy tickets. We have VIP passes for the entire weekend that ends up saving you money and you have all access to everything. But yes, I mean, we really tried, but there's just, capacity and those kind of things. So I would say, I would hate to turn people away. I would hate for people to miss out. So I would say your best bet is definitely to buy tickets on our website.
All right. How much are the tickets?
They range in pricing. I mean, from 25 all the way up to 125 for the all access, all weekend.
Okay. So, who's the film festival for? Is it for artists? Is it for the general public? Who is it for?
The film festival is a mixture for up-and-coming, aspiring filmmakers, for people that have been in the industry that want to just share that love with the city and the city itself. I think with our long-term ambitious goals of expanding the film and TV productions of New Bedford, we want to show people that there is a place for just about everybody in the film industry. And the film industry is a good thing to have in your city. It's a good thing to help tell the stories of the city. It's a good thing to help, project that culture of the city outward and also protect the culture of the city. And I think that people are one of the most interesting things is when I talk to people, they artists and shop owners and things like that don't realize that they could have their business in a film, or they could have if there's like I have a friend of mine that's a thrift shop owner, and she has incredible, really unique outfits. Mm-hmm. That's like a gold mine for costume designers for film. So I think that we're going to slowly start seeing, as we're building that up, that it's just going to be interwoven into so many different aspects of the creative community in the city already, that I just think it's all a win. And I think we're really trying to be conscious about doing it in this grassroots, organic way, where we're not trying to sell out to Hollywood or anything. We want to attract those productions here, but when they are here, it's like, hey, you're in our house, you're playing by our rules, to make sure that New Bedford is always the center of focus, and we're always winning and progressing forward.
And as we all know, there have been some films that have featured New Bedford recently.
Yes.
Fairhaven, Academy Award nominee.
And I've spoken with them, and a lot of them just have great things to say about how collaborative the city is, how honestly easy it is to film things here, which is a huge draw for productions.
My guest has been Ethan DeAguiar, founder of the inaugural New Bedford Film Festival, April 18th through the 21st, for the opening ceremony at Cook Memorial Theater at the Whaling Museum. The ticket email address again, New Bedford Film Festival.
NewBedfordFilmFestival.com.
There you go. To get tickets for this event coming up later this month. Thank you, Ethan. Good luck with the festival.
Yeah, thanks very much. This was a lot of fun.
Stay right here. Town Square Sunday will continue in just a moment.